Your brain won't let you rest, and that's costing you everything. You think you're being productive, but what if the loop you're in, the checking, the planning, the doing, this whole circle is the actual thing that's keeping you stuck? I'm talking about something that's happening right now in your nervous system that has reprogrammed your brain to treat rest as an actual threat. Until you understand what's running the show, you will keep grinding yourself to the ground and keep calling it ambition. Hi, I'm Vinita. I'm a subconscious reprogramming specialist, and I say this again and again in my practice with entrepreneurs, founders, and high achievers who are incapable of resting or pausing. It's because their subconscious has learned through years and years of conditioning that stillness is dangerous. And today I'm going to show you exactly why that happens and what it's doing to your performance, your life quality, and your relationships. Things that you can start doing from today onwards to start rewiring it. Let me introduce to you something called the false productivity loop. You wake up, and before your feet hit the floor, your mind is already running. What do I need to do today? What's falling behind? So you start doing things: emails, plans, tasks, content, calls. And for a moment, if just for a moment, stillness comes back in, the anxiety to do more is just on the standby. It comes rushing back in. Do you see what's happening here? You're not being productive. You are self medicating in the same loop. And this doing isn't actually about being productive. This doing is about managing a feeling. And this sense of not being safe to rest and be still, that's coming from amygdala. The amygdala is your threat detection system. It is ancient, it's fast, and it doesn't know the difference between a lion chasing you through savannah and an unread email sitting in your inbox. To the amygdala, the unfinished task means being unsafe. And when that message was received, the next immediate thing it triggers is movement, the impulse to do something, to get somewhere, to resolve that tension. So when you sit down to rest, when you close your laptop, when you try to just be, the amygdala fires and the same loop continues. And now that you know what's actually going on in the background, let's look at where this loop actually gets installed. And here is what most productivity conversations miss entirely. This isn't a time management problem and not even a discipline problem. This is an automatic subconscious script. At some point in your life, you learned an equation that says doing equals safety, worthy, loved, enough. Maybe it was a parent who praised you when you achieved something and went quiet when you didn't. Maybe it was a school system that ranked your value based on your grades and performance. And in that feedback loop, your subconscious learned that rest equals danger. Doing nothing along those lines became being nothing. Now, here is the thing about subconscious programming: it doesn't update itself when circumstances change. So, even when you are successful, when the business is running, money is coming in, team is there, the old program is still running in the background, still scanning for threat and still pulling you back into that exact loop, making you feel like rest is not just falling behind, but it's also wrong to pause. And the worst part, the most successful you become, it says, see, I kept going and I made it, so I'm gonna keep going again. And the false productivity loop tightens. And now that you know what runs this program and where that was installed, let's look at the actual cost, what it's actually taking from you. Now I know some of you may be thinking, it's working, I am achieving something, what's wrong with that? And I want to address that because the most dangerous part about this loop is that it justifies itself enough so that it survives. But here is what's happening beneath the surface. Your nervous system has two modes. Researchers call that sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic is your fight and flight mode. It is activated by stress and urgency. Parasympathetic is your rest and digest. It is activated by safety and stillness. Your most creative output and the most strategic and innovative thinking only happens in parasympathetic state. The insight, the connection between ideas, the solutions that seem to come from nowhere, they come in the shower, the walk. When you are in constant sympathetic activation, when you are always doing, pushing, producing, running after something, that network never goes offline. So the very thing you're sacrificing rest for, the growth, clarity, breakthrough, better decisions, is only accessible through rest that you are refusing to take. And long term, chronic sympathetic activation leads to cortisol imbalances. Elevated cortisol degrades memory, suppresses immune function, disrupts sleep quality, and impairs the prefrontal cortex. And the prefrontal cortex is the one where you make the decisions. So you're literally burning down the decision making faculty that you heavily rely on for productivity. Now that we have better understanding of where that's coming from and how it's affecting our life, let's look at 3 systemic ways that we can rewire this. Before we go any further, I want to be clear about one thing. We cannot willpower our way out of this pattern. Telling yourself to just relax when you are in actual activated state is like telling someone to calm down standing in front of a bear. The conscious instruction cannot override the subconscious survival instruction. You have to go underneath it where the pattern actually lives. So here are the 3 ways. Number 1, complete the stress cycle. When your nervous system activates a stress response, your cortisol fires and adrenaline spikes. Your body is designed to complete that response through physical action. In nature, you run from the predator. You fought, you move, and when it's over, you return to the baseline. But in modern life, the stresses, threat, they never physically end. So the stress chemistry stays in the body and your nervous system stays activated. And when you try to rest, your body still holds on to that incomplete stress cycle, which is why although you lie down, your mind races, and which is also why rest doesn't feel like rest. So how you do it? 20 to 30 minutes of physical action in the form of running, walking, or shaking. Finding a movement that feels natural and doable for you. Choose that, and when you take part in that particular physical action, it signals to your body that the threat is over and we can return to baseline. The second method, rewrite the subconscious equation. Remember the equation that I mentioned before: rest equals danger, doing equals safety, and that equation lives in your subconscious mind. And subconscious mind can be reprogrammed in 2 ways, either through repetition or affirming something through emotional intensity. If you need any assistance in that arena, you can reach out to me, link is in the bio. So before you implement this change of building a habit through consistency and repetition, I want you to build the habit of witnessing, actually able to see how you feel when you are sitting in silence. If you feel anything in your body, like maybe some anxiety in your heart, or maybe tightness in your stomach, or maybe a knot in your throat, whatever you feel, I want you to pay attention to that as a first step. And when you find something, if you can't find any body sensation, you can even focus on your attitude, how you are feeling. And when you find it, I want you to name it. This is called cognitive diffusion in psychological research, creating distance between you and the thought so that you can see it as an old programming playing itself instead of being one with it and saying, this is who I am. Third way, plan stillness as a performance protocol. I want you to see rest as not pausing of performance but a requirement or a part of performance. Elite athletes have known this for decades, and the training science is unambiguous on this. The adaptation, speed, strength, skill does not happen during the training. It happens during recovery. The training creates the stimulus, but the actual growth is built in rest. And your brain works exactly the same way. The thinking, deciding, creating, that's the stimulus. Sleep, stillness, disconnection, that's where your neural connections consolidate. So the practice here is simple, but it's non-negotiable. And treat it as a business decision. Incubation period, strategic stillness, you can name it whatever you want, but schedule it, protect it, see it as a sacred time you're putting aside for your own productivity and growth. And along with that, track your progress and see how that's affecting your output. Your subconscious gets new evidence, and evidence is the thing that reprograms your subconscious belief. Those are the 3 strategies. When you implement these 3 strategies, you will see changes in your life. And the most powerful thing that a high achiever can do is bring the same level of intensity into doing nothing that they bring into doing everything. If you resonated with what we walked through today, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one.